Hi, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to 5-Minute MuckBusters, where we explore how writing can help you make it through the thick sludge of life. Yes, you. If you can write a tweet, you can write for your own wellness. This is episode 4, and today we'll talk about an overview of various writing formats, tools, and techniques. It's the first week of April 2020 as I film this, and COVID-19 is wreaking havoc. Worldwide, there are more than 1 million cases reported and 62,000 deaths. The U.S. death toll has exceeded 8,000. Most of us are sheltering in place, and we're all trying to figure out how to cope and how to help our friends and families cope too. Maybe that's why I subconsciously decided to put on my Life is Good hat today. I'm grateful to be alive and well at the moment, but I know life isn't really good for a lot of people. This past week, I read an article in the New York Times called The Quarantine Diaries. As the title suggests, lots of people are memorializing and processing their thoughts and feelings on paper, as I suggest we all do in difficult times. That's why I wrote this book, Writing Through the Muck. What I found particularly interesting from this article, and also what I've learned from my social media contacts, although it's no surprise really, is that we as a worldwide community are using all sorts of formats, tools, and techniques to express ourselves about the pandemic. Some of us are writing in diaries Anne Frank style. Some of us are drawing. Some are drawing and writing, combining art forms, which is actually something I talk about in my book and which we'll explore in a later episode. While we're engaging in these activities primarily for our own sanity's sake, our words today might actually inform future generations because first-person accounts of major historical events are often the most telling. History, writes Amelia Nierenberg, is often reconstructed from snapshots of ordinary lives. A handwritten recipe, a letter, a drawing of a kitchen sink. There are lots of ways we can express ourselves, and writing for wellness is definitely not one size fits all. Journals, lists, letters, poetries, essays, these all count. So do fictional stories, affirmations and intentions, and even tweets. Memes are helping us process this mother of all mucks too. A new poem I found on Instagram this week by Kelly Russell Aganon and Melissa Studdard was titled, "The Memes Ask If Anyone Has Tried Unplugging 2020 and Plugging It Back In." I liked that one especially. We'll look at writing formats in more detail in future episodes. We'll also explore some of the tools and techniques that help you tap into what you're feeling and navigate your way through the depths. Some of the best ones include imagery, metaphor, dialogue, perspective, and place. Check in on future episodes for a more in-depth look at them. And now, before I sign off, I need to give you today's assignment. This is one you might want to do with your kids. Even if they're too young to write, they can draw. Start by choosing a format you'd like to use. Drawing, or if you want to write, journaling, writing lists, writing letters. Don't overthink which one to pick, just imagine you're pulling it out of a hat. Now sit yourself down and look around. What do you see, or hear, or smell? Maybe it's an office with bookshelves, or a kitchen sink cluttered with dirty dishes, or a freshly mown lawn. Whatever it is, describe what you observe using all your senses, and then follow them along to wherever they may lead in your mind. It's okay if you're just staying in the present moment, but it's also okay if you wander off to another time or place, or to other emotions hiding in the shadows. I'm sitting outside right now. My intention had been to film this video, but now with this assignment in front of me, I'm thinking about writing a letter, maybe to my sister. One of my observations might be the grass in the community and how it's unbelievably lush and green and healthy looking, but then I'm pretty sure that will lead to some thoughts about the environment, since she's one of my fellow climate sisters, and how much precious water is being used to water that lawn. After that, my thoughts will probably wander off to the surprising recovery attempts that nature has made since the pandemic started and since fossil fuel uses is down. And I might wonder if this coronavirus is trying to save the planet from climate change because we don't seem to be able to do it. See, that's the thing about wellness writing. It gives us permission to let our minds wander off and explore how we feel and how to dig deeper into other topics that might not come to the forefront if we didn't take the time and spend the energy to let it happen. When you're done, if you did this with your kids or anyone else, consider honoring the process by sharing with each other. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing the exact words you wrote, that's okay. Instead, talk about the process of writing for that exploration and discovery. Maybe explain why you chose the format you did, or what you initially observed that got you going. You might even share the emotions that came to light. Don't be afraid to show your vulnerabilities. We're all vulnerable in these times, now especially, and it just means we're alive and human. Thank you for tuning in. Next time, we'll talk more about journaling. Until then, be well and keep on writing.